Yeah. So I don't remember where I bought this, if I saw it in a store. But essentially, it's a PlayStation controller for PS2 and PC. But what I did, I don't know where it is now. Uh, I had a PS1 controller with analog sticks, but the analog sticks on the PS1 controller were so bad. So I used some of the components of that PS1 controller in this. So that, for example, I think I might have used those buttons. You see how they're gray? Because they're from PS1. But they're not from. They're from the older PS1 controller, I think. They're from the oldest version. Those are from the oldest version. So those are from this version, the oldest version. So, and I think those buttons too. I think those buttons too. Those buttons are from. I think those buttons are from uh, this one of the analog versions. I and it kind of feels like when you use the controller. Uh, it almost feels like the mold is a little bit like the plastic is a little bit too big for the buttons. Like almost there's almost a gap between like something feels not quite right compared to the official one. The official one, oh shit. The official one feels a lot more like solid. Is the right word? But it was kind of it was kind of cool. Uh, it was kind of a cool experiment because these are way better. These are way more. Um, these analog sticks feel way better than the PS1 analog sticks at the time. Though those analog sticks still feel better than those analog sticks. They still feel better. So you might be able to buy some third party ones and for the PS1 controller and make them better because these feel like they feel so weird to use. Maybe it's because I'm used to the PS2 and maybe the PS1 analog sticks were always this kind of. I mean, you always have to try it yourself to really see the difference, but there's a difference between how these pull back when they like feel the difference. But the buttons on this, I think, feels better than these. There's something. Yeah, I don't know if there's something with the plastic. I mean, the controller still works on PS1. The only thing I didn't replace were these analog. No, yeah, you can tell that there's like a gap there. It's not completely. Yeah, it's not completely the way it should be. I think. Like, but the controller still works, and yeah, I didn't replace the shoulder buttons. So these are original. I think it was from a third party PS2 controller. Like, yeah, you didn't realize how popular the PS2 was. I mean, the PS2 got new games until like I think it got consistent games until about 2000, uh, around 2008. It kind of got good games, but afterwards it kind of because PS3 had been out for. So, but yeah, when the PS, for some reason PS2 sold really well though. But yeah, but it was yeah, and it's kind of crazy to think like PS1 was still relevant in 2000, but then 360 came out 5 years later. So yeah, and these directional buttons feel worse than these. So there's something with the plastic that I think these directional buttons are from the original PS1 controller, so there's a kind of a difference. But yeah, I wanted a better PS1 analog stick controller because these analog sticks on the other controller, these analog sticks still feel better. And you can use a PS2 controller on PS1, but you want to use the original PS1 controller on PS1, so that's the way it goes. But it was kind of a cool thing to try. You can see that the color is different here. On PS2, it's always black, and I don't know where those buttons disappeared to. These buttons here, I don't know if I got rid of them or, but yeah, they don't feel quite the way they should. Uh, they don't feel quite the way they should. They still work. You can still use them, but they don't feel quite the way they should. You feel something's off with them, or But the controller still works for what it's worth. So